Hi everyone, before I start today's video, now there is a possibility that you can talk with me directly. You just have to simply go on www.nikshala.com, book an appointment, and I will get in touch with you directly. Now, sending an email and back and forth can be done, of course, but again, my team members handle all of that. If you want to talk with me directly, please book an appointment on nikshala.com. Let's start today's.
Alright guys, welcome back once again. So I have Rahul here with me, who is a Hadoop platform engineer. Probably this is the first time I have someone who is working on this technology. Hopefully his journey, which was all the way from India, he got a job directly here in Munich. His journey is going to be more focused on what kind of interview process he had to go through, what kind of job platforms did you use. So all of that details we're going to talk, but before that, Rahul, just give us your introduction. Where do you come from? Where in India? What education you have done? What kind of work experience you come with? What's your total work experience? What were you working in the past? Just walk us through, please. Go ahead.
I come from Hyderabad. I used to work as a managed services engineer in a product firm.
Okay.
So that's how before coming to Munich, I used to work in that firm. Overall, I have an experience of 5+ years.
Okay.
On Hadoop, I have an overall experience of 4+ years.
Okay.
It's been a good journey, I would say. So overall, Hadoop has a lot of opportunities in Munich.
How is Hadoop doing in Germany?
It's pretty good. Overall, I wouldn't say just in Germany and in overall world, it's doing pretty good because eventually all the corporate companies, they want to do the analytics on their data that they are showing because they have to prove themselves in the market and they have to stand out of the other corporate companies. Okay.
Right.
So Hadoop plays a big role in this stuff, I would say. Right now, Hadoop is not just one skill, I would say. You need to add a little more DevOps skill as well, like Ansible or Puppet or Terraform, or it will make your resume stand out of the other resumes. So I wouldn't say don't stick with Hadoop. Try to learn any other technology from CI/CD as well. So it doesn't matter if it is Ansible or Puppet, or just try to explore the other skills. So you'll have this idea when you go through, like when you start applying, you'll have this understanding what most of the companies look for. Don't just apply the jobs, right? So see what they are asking for and see the technology skills that they are asking for. You will have a difference what you don't have in you. Try to develop that if it helps your resume, and just that's how you apply, I think.
Got it. What are your core skills?
Right now I'm into core Hadoop. Basically I work with Hadoop, so it doesn't matter if you just know Hadoop. So you need Hadoop, as in you have a lot of machines to handle, a lot of servers to handle. It is not just a single machine, you just do stuff manually. So it involves a lot of automation stuff. Okay, so to build up machines, we use Terraform. To automate something, we use Ansible, Puppet. There are a lot of tools and technologies. So not just Hadoop. So I do work along with all these skills as a skill set as well. It is good to know, good to have these skills. It makes your Hadoop life easier if you know all these skills. So basically, instead of doing some work for like hours, you can just do it in few minutes, and you can roll out the same thing, and companies would also want interest. So because there is always a problem in doing some manual stuff. If there is some automation, it makes your life easy.
See, Rahul, you would have given a lot of interviews during the process when you were back in India looking for a job. Here, I really want you to walk us through what really happened in the interview room. Well, interview room as in whether it was Skype or however you gave the interview, because he got a job directly from India. You didn't leave your job, you continued your job, and on the other side you gave the interview.
That's true.
Right? That's true. So tell us how many rounds of interview you went through and what really happened in the interview.
Yeah, so basically it was just one round, but in that same round there was a technical panel, there was a managerial panel as well.
One round?
Yeah, it was just one. It was just one round. So, but that was for two long hours. So it was a 2 long hours of video conference interview. First part had the technical panel. They took the interview. They asked the technical questions and where do I come from, what technical skills that I will be getting, and there were some troubleshooting questions. There were questions about the technology, and there were questions about scenario-based questions.
Give us some examples.
All sort of questions. Like for some question, like something would be like if this situation happens. So in Hadoop there is something called, if there is a name node, there is a concept called name code. So if that goes down, how would you handle this scenario and you were the alone? So what are the steps that you would do? Which log do you would check? These are some sort of troubleshooting questions. And also apart from that, there were some architectural based of questions. And if I give a 10 servers to you, will you be able to build a platform out of it? Can you build up a cluster based on this? And do you have any experience with building up the cluster? Do you these were a few questions. And on what amount of data that you worked on? I mean, is it petabytes, it is terabytes? How much data did you handle? How many what are the difficult scenarios that you faced? Was there any downtime did you handle? Was there any maintenance that you handled upon by yourself? And what sort of applications that you worked on? It is not just about building the they were also keen if I'm just getting the infrastructure knowledge, or whether I was capable enough to handle the applications that were running on Hadoop as well. So these people were using a lot of tech stack on the Hadoop. So they were using Hive, Spark, and Uzi and other stuff. So how would you handle what are the they will also ask the questions about what is Uzi and what is Hadoop, and what would you do with if there is just 2 nodes and we will ask you to destroy the cluster. Will you be able to destroy this cluster? And how would you copy data from one cluster to another cluster? So there are a lot of technical related questions.
Wow.
So they do cover the entire topic. So I would say they start from the basics. So they might be having some pattern to do into interviewing a candidate. So they ask questions, and they also see it is not necessary definitely each and everything, right? So if you tell them, even if you're not sure about the question, don't hesitate them to say no. Just tell them what is your point of view. I mean, if that is not the question, and just tell them you'll have some experience, just tell them, and I think they should be happy with it.
So in those 2 hours, first hour was all about this technical. What happened in the second hour?
After the manager, so the manager was also in the technical part, so he was not an active participant, so he was just analyzing, he was just observing how I was behaving to the questions and how I was answering. So then after the technical panel left from the interview, so then managerial questions started shooting in. So they were seeing how
culturally you fit in the organization.
So basically it is so it was more of a managerial questions, like how would you handle this situation, like when there is a conflict within the team, and what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. These are all basic questions that any interview would ask. And what is the conflict? Will you ever if someone is doing something wrong in the team, how would you clear? I mean, would you wait for me to point out, or would you rather come away straight to me, or how straightforward are you? And these are different set of managerial questions that he asked. And also they asked me definitely why you want to move to Germany. We have a team back then in Chennai. Would you like to work there? Or they do ask what is your interest basically?
Right.
Why do
what's
you
your
want
intention?
What's your intention basically to come to Germany?
Right.
So
got it. So what happened after those 2 hours?
So those 2 hours happened. So they gave a little positive sign, saying that let's see how it goes. And they told they also, luckily the manager was also there in the discussion, so he had a initial pay discussion as well. So he asked for a number, and back then I didn't do much of research and what is the number that I have to say, because I was just looking. So I just said give me some time because
you asked for time.
I told I give me some time so that I can get back. I just can't say a random number, and if it doesn't match us, so it wouldn't be fair enough. So
negotiation is happening this way. Okay.
So but then he was like, if you give me a number, then I can just tell.
So he also insisted.
He
no, you tell me right now.
Yeah, he also insisted that it would be get better because it will fasten up the process. I think they had a sort of urgency maybe. So he was sweet enough to give some more time. If you take some
Okay.
more time, so I just asked for some time and I did some research, though it was not much time.
What
Google
bracket?
gives you any answer.
Of
so,
course.
so I just
Right.
told a random number. Luckily, it was matching.
In the range, what they were
in-
also looking at?
Yeah,
Okay.
which was within the range, so it was
Okay.
matching. So we both came on the same page. So that's how it happened, and we
One
ended.
question.
Yeah.
What, with your skill sets, total 5 years of experience, out of which 4 years were in Hadoop.
Mhm.
So considering that, what range of salary you expected? Give us the bracket from
Mhm.
this to this.
You can expect around. It depends on the firm, I would say. So,
And the city also.
And the city also. So in Germany, as you say,
Yes.
I mean, every city has its own
Cost
pay
of
scale.
living and all.
So I would say if in Munich, you should take around somewhere around 65k.
65k
65k.
and above.
65, maybe 65 to 70. 65 to 70 is a good amount, I would say, definitely around 65. So 60 again, it would be a little tougher. If you come with a Hadoop experience and if you have an experience of 5 years, you should definitely ask a pay around 65k,
Right.
more than 65k.
Cool. So you had a very successful interview. You're sitting here in Munich. Where is this industry heading towards? What sort of skills will be expected out of people with your skill sets who are still sitting in India? They have a pretty good life. Everything is doing well. What should they be ready with?
I would say get more, as much of experience you can, more scenarios, and people here want more moving towards automation. So don't just stick to Hadoop. So learn as much as automation that you can, and try to learn this technology stack like Ansible, Puppet, Chef, Terraform. Get as much as hands-on that you can, and Python is a big game changer. Definitely, it has been a big game changer, and it is giving a lot of advantage in your resume. So don't just have a syntactical knowledge, more of a work-based scenario knowledge, I would say. Try to take an online course or try to do a certification. Try to enroll yourself in something, try to do a project, or get this automation knowledge. Along that, grow your experience on Hadoop, and I think that will definitely help you any day in landing you in Germany.
So that's all what we have to offer about Hadoop as a topic. There would have been more questions. I may have skipped it, or maybe he wouldn't have mentioned about them. Don't worry, don't hesitate. Just simply try to get in touch with us. We'll see what best we can do to help you out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.